Hey everybody, this is my second attempt to make this video. Hopefully everything goes right. Anyway, everybody has seen the video of Mr. Nicholson getting beat to death and being beat sensibly, uh, unnecessary by thugs in uniform. These are not police officers. These are not police officers. These are thugs that are in uniform. And what people are not getting is this is not an isolated incident. Nobody is going back and looking. They're focused on one thing. I promise you, Mr. or Mrs. District Attorney in Memphis, you need to go back and take a look, probably from the beginning of their career, because this is not the first time. I promise you, this is not the first time. These men have done something similar and got away with it. This is not their first time. This is the only reason that they got caught this time is because they killed somebody. And everybody's sitting there going, the supervisors and the lieutenants and the captains and all the way up to the police chief was just, oh my God. No, 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 no. Any good police chief knows what her officers or his officers are doing. I don't care how big of a police force you got. I don't care if it's 4 or 5 or just 2. You're going to know what your officers are doing. You're going to know if they are up to no good. For one, you're going to have complaints. You're going to have somebody come in and complain, and I promise you, these 5 cowards in uniform, these thugs, these gang members in uniform that carry a badge, they got complaints, I promise you. But like everything else, you didn't believe the average Joe. You didn't believe the average citizen. No, not these guys here. Not these girls here. No, they could never do anything like that, like they're saying that they done, until it's too late. How many times could this have been prevented? We'll never know. I promise you, this is not the first time. 10 years law enforcement experience, and I can tell you, this is not the first time. There's no telling how many other victims are out there that got probably just as bad but didn't die. How many people have been robbed by these gang members that carry a badge and that's in uniform? Because I tell you, they're all buddies. They're all buddies. They're all pals. I don't care if the police chief tells me, I didn't know nothing about it. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. If you didn't know, then you were asleep at the wheel, sister. I would tell you that. You were asleep at the wheel. This man's life could have been saved. It could have been prevented. This incident could have been prevented. Somebody was asleep at the wheel. And it was the police chief and her little Indians. And when I say little Indians, I'm saying captains, majors, right on down to the street supervisor. This could have been prevented. This man went through hell on earth. This man tried to save his own life. This man in handcuffs, still being beat. I have watched several different versions of this tape. And yes, I know it's been edited. Yes, they have showed what they want us to see. We'll probably never get to see the whole thing, even the family. I'm sorry to tell you, you'll never be able to see the 100% true version. Even in court, it's going to be redacted. They're going to show you what they want you to see. If they would have done their jobs, and yes, I will be the first to tell you, there is a thin blue line. Yes, we back up one another. I've never backed up something like this. I have never lied on what I have seen in the street. That's why I'm no longer in law enforcement. It got that bad. It got that bad. I said, you know what? I'm not doing this no more. This is not an isolated one-time incident. This is something that's been in the making for probably 10 years now, if not longer. This is something that's been... I have no words to explain this. No words whatsoever to explain what I have seen. And I've seen some bad things in my life. Things that I'll never probably talk about ever that I've seen. It's worse than this, I promise you. And this is something that I will remember for a pretty good while. This is something that won't be forgot about overnight. But what I'm trying to get to the people, the state of Tennessee, because they're not going to come up with this information on their own. They're not going to want to look back, because I promise you there's more victims. And victims that have been victimized by these 5 gang members, I'm going to call them that. That's exactly what they are. They're gang members. They carry a badge, and they have a uniform, and they have a patrol car, but they are a gang member. They are thugs. If you've been violated by these gang members in Memphis, now's the time to come forth. Now's the time to come forth. They can't hurt you. These men can't. Let them know what they've done to you. Let them know now. Now's the time. I understand why you didn't before. For one, you're scared, and you have every right to be. These men and women hold life and death in their fingertips. That's how real it is. I cannot stress enough. Yes, we should be sorry for Mr. Nicholson. Yes, we should. But I am telling y'all, and I hope and pray to God that my video may reach the police chief of Memphis. I hope and pray to God that it reaches the district attorney of Memphis. Because I'm telling you, this is not an isolated incident. This, I promise you, on everything I have, if you will go back to the beginning, till present, you will see this is not the first time. This is not the first time. It is pretty brazen. Knowing that you got body cam, knowing that you got street cameras, knowing that you got dash cams. They didn't care. That should tell you something. They didn't care. They thought, well, you know what? We got away with it one time, 2 times, 3 times, 8 times before. We can get away with it again. Shit, fuck. We the damn police. We can do whatever the fuck we want. That's how they looked at it. That is exactly how these 5 gang members looked at it. I'm not saying in the beginning that they probably wouldn't honest police. But I'm telling you, this is not just a one-time incident. And if you'll go back and look at their body cams, if the video is still there, because it can be deleted. Dash cam can be deleted. Body cam can be deleted. I'm here to tell you, I've seen it done. It can be deleted. I'm telling you, look back. Go through civilian complaints. It's not all lies. I promise you. The people of Memphis, white, black, blue, green, let the police chief, let the district attorney know you want answers. You don't have to burn cities and homes and businesses down. You don't have to get violent with it. But let them know. Because I promise you, these 5 gang members are not the only ones that are doing this crap. There's more of them. They're going to sit back. They're going to sit there and go, oh shit, well, Billy, Tom, Jerry, and Frank just got caught. We need to cool our ass off a little bit. These 5 are part of a bigger group. The way they conducted the traffic stop for a reckless driver, he was at a freaking red light. What justified them blocking him off? And only one that I seen activated their emergency lights. Only one. I didn't see the other 2 cars. And no markers on these cars whatsoever. You could have pulled up beside it and thought it was a friend from down the street in his Charger. That's why I've always been an activist about patrol cars being placarded where you know what they are. This dude didn't know what the hell was going on. All he knew was he had a car in front of him, a car beside him, and one behind that just had blue lights in the dash. It would have freaked me out too. How many times can you go to stores and get hoodies that say police? How many times can you go to stores and get shirts that says police? How many times can you go on eBay and get blue lights? I would have reacted the same way. I would have thought, shit, I'm getting robbed. Listen to that traffic stop. Motherfucker, just like a gang member. Just like a thug. Motherfucker. Not one time did I sit here and hear them sit there and say, police. Memphis police. No. They boxed him in. Even on a reckless driver call, you're going to get an officer that is honest, true, knows what the fuck he's doing, and knows the law to back it up. He's going to take and go where that car is, try to catch up to it, He's going to watch it for just a minute to see. Because just because you got a phone call saying, hey, he's running off the road, you still don't have probable cause just to go up and pull somebody over. Well, you got called in on. I'm sorry, the laws, especially in the state of Georgia now, our laws don't allow us to do that. He's going to stay back. He's going to watch. And if it warrants a traffic stop, he's going to do this right here. He's going to do these two things. He's going to pick up his radio. He's going to give his unit number. Just say 522, 911. They'll come back, 522. He'll sit there and say, 1027, tag. 1027, copy. He'll take and say, Alpha Bravo Victor 1287, and then he'll go A blah 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 127. He'll give the description of the car, black Chevrolet Tahoe, Tennessee tag, 10-4. And then the next thing he's going to do, he's going to activate his emergency lights. If they don't pull right on over, which a lot of us don't, we may do this. Look, see he's back there. We're going to do one or two things. We're going to hit the brake. If we're in the middle lane, we're going to turn our blinker on. And what he'll do is he'll split that lane before you can come over. So he's kind of clearing the way for you to safely merge onto the right side of the shoulder. He's going to notice what mile marker or what cross street that you are stopping at, and he's going to radio to 911. We're stopping right past mile marker 23, or we're right across Apple Street. That's what he's going to do. He's not going to, hey boys, when he gets to a red light, let's block him in. We're all going to jump out and start yelling and screaming when our guns pointed at him. No. Unless he didn't stop and it was a kind of pursuit thing. From what I'm getting, no, it wasn't. He was at a damn red light. That's why every car in the U.S., if you're going to be doing traffic stops, it needs to have plainly on the side, sheriff or police, in what city. It needs to have light bars on top so people will know. Think about it, Mr. Nicholson. It's nighttime. The car in front of me doesn't say sheriff, doesn't say police. It's just blacked out. This dude jumps out with all black and with a little thing right here that says police that anybody can go by. It's not a uniform. With a gun. I would have been afraid too, and I probably would have reacted the same way. And it's time. I know in certain states, you're not allowed to use, I would consider their cars as UC cars, which is undercover cars. That's what I would say those cars were. In certain states, you can't use cars like they used to pull somebody over because it looks just like a regular car going down the road. Nobody can sit there and sit there and say, hey, you know what? It's a police car. Because in somebody's mind that hasn't been in law enforcement, when you say describe a police car. Okay, it's got a bar on the top. It says police or sheriff on the side. And it has a push bumper with a spotlight, maybe. That would be a police car. Not something like they was driving. I think every state should have a law, or it should be law in every state. You cannot use a unmarked patrol car, an unmarked unit, to do traffic stops with. It's too confusing. It is too confusing. And I think that's what happened. I seriously think that's what happened. I'm going to take and wrap this up. If by some chance you see this, please share it. I don't care if you like it. Please share it. I hope it gets to the police chief and to the district attorney in Memphis, because this is not a one-time incident. This has been in the making for a long time. With that being said, and another thing I want to mention before I go. If you are on a dark road and you are not sure if it's actually a police car or not, I'm sorry, y'all. I had to pause it because I got hot. I had that thick sweatshirt on, and I'm hot-natured anyway, so I had to get something else that was a little bit cooler. But anyway, what I was saying before I paused it is I want to let you know a little secret. If you are on a highway going home or wherever you're going to, and excuse me, a car comes up behind you, and it may not look like a police car. Like I said, push bumper, spotlight, bar lights on the top. It looks like something that you could drive. And then all of a sudden, blue or red lights come on. You're thinking, this doesn't look like a cop. This doesn't look like a state trooper. This doesn't look like a sheriff. It is not against the law to do these steps that I am about to tell you. 1, slow down. Slow down. 2, turn on your hazards. 3, call 911. Let them know what's going on. Take and tell them, this is where I'm at. This is the car that I'm in. I have a vehicle behind me that's got, it just don't look right to me. Before I pull over, could you please verify that it is truly a police officer or a law enforcement car? It only takes them a second or two, a minute, to sit there and go, radio, or every police car in the U.S. has GPS. They know where they're at, even without an officer having to radio in and tell them. They know where those cars are. So it don't take but just a minute to radio in and sit there and ask, hey, are you trying to do, a traffic stop on this car? They'll radio back and sit there and go, yeah, tell them I said pull over. It's always better to be safe than sorry. Now, granted, I will tell you this. You need to do it immediately. Immediately when those lights come on and you do not think that it is a law enforcement officer that is pulling you over, and you go 10 or 12 miles and you sit there and finally sit there and go, well, I'm going to call 911. No. No, that's not what I'm telling you to do. I'm telling you, if you are a mother with your kids and you do not think, especially at night, you can tell in the daytime. And if you got doubts in the daytime, still do these three things. Slow down. Turn on your hazards. Immediately call 911. Know what highway you're on. Know what possibly mile marker or cross street that you are either just went through or about to come up to. Call them. Let them know, hey, he's just turned on his blue lights. I have slowed down. I'll turn on my hazards. I just want to make sure because it doesn't look like a law enforcement car. It's not against the law to do those three things. But if you sit there and wait and wait and wait and wait and wait and go 3 or 4 or 5 miles down the road, then no. And then decide to call 911, no. No, you're probably going to get arrested for evading if it is actually a law enforcement. Number 2, if it is a law enforcement car, naturally, pull over. They verified it, pull over. If it isn't, then take and tell 911, hey, I need help. There's a car behind me, it has emergency lights, and it's wanting me to pull over them. Can you get help to me? Go somewhere public where there's a lot of people. You know, if you're out on the interstate or out in a country highway, there's really not much you can do. You can get off at an exit if you're close to one now. Now, if there's 2 miles down the road, no. And 911 has verified that, hey, it is a law enforcement officer, then fine. Pull over. If you want to record, fine. Set your phone up after you've stopped. Set your phone up. Hit record. It's not against the law to record law enforcement on a traffic stop, on your traffic stop. So, that being in mind, like I said before, go through it again. Ladies, it's late at night. You got off of work, went by the babysitter's, picked up your kids. You're on your way home. Car comes up behind you at a high rate of speed, and you don't recognize it. You don't think it's law enforcement, but all of a sudden you see blue lights in the inside of the car or in the grill. You don't think it is. Immediately slow down. Turn on your hazards. Call 911. Know what road that you are on and what mile marker or cross street. Let 911 verify it. It's always better to be safe than sorry. That being said, please pray for the Nichols family. It is a tragic, tragic, tragic loss. Something that could have been avoided in my book, because this is not a one-time incident. This somebody dropped the ball. They were asleep at the wheel. And I hope and pray to God that the Memphis police chief and the DA see this video, because this could have been prevented. It could have been prevented. It didn't have to happen. With that being said, I hope everybody has a good and weekend. Like I said, keep the Nichols family in your prayers. Please keep me and my family in your prayers. We had a tragic loss. We had a family member to pass away unexpectedly. And so please remember us, and y'all stay safe out there.